Hey, coach. What are your thoughts on dating unattractive people for practice?
The title of the book is Winning the Heart of the Woman of Your Dreams, not some average person that you're unattracted to, because quite frankly, it's going to be a little hard to get a boner when you don't find the girl attractive. Plus, it's going to be hard to carry the conversation on because you're not excited to talk to her. So, the idea you should be going out on dates with girls that you actually like. When you go out in public and you're socializing people, sure, you should talk with anybody and everybody. When you're at a grocery store, you should talk with anybody and everybody that's there, especially if you're trying to improve your social skills. But the greatest gift you can give anybody is a gift of your time. And so if you're going to ask a girl out, make sure it's somebody that you like and that you're attracted to. And if you're uncomfortable with talking to women that you're really attracted to, then you're going to have to practice it. I was just reading a comment here before we started filming on a guy that, let me see if I can find it here. He went up to a girl that he saw at the gym and he's doing very well. And so this is kind of, just like what we're talking about. He just totally chickens out. So I'm going to read his comment. And so this was on a video newsletter I did recently called Why a Man's Inaction is Extremely Attractive to Women. And so he says, Hi, Corey. I'm a web developer for a hospital, age 31. I make more than $100,000 between my job and a side business making websites. I go to the gym and I keep in shape and I dress well in dressing clothes. Recent events have hit me hard. I have not been in a relationship for 8 years. I went to the gym yesterday and as I came in, the girl I like was on her way out. She smiles at me and I smile back. Well, usually that's an indication of interest. If a woman makes eye contact and smiles, that's usually the green light to approach that she likes what she sees, because most women that are taken or not interested, they won't make eye contact. They'll walk right by you like you're totally invisible. Now, it's possible she's just being nice, but typically when a woman makes eye contact and she's single and ready to mingle, she's going to smile at you and it means she's open to it. So approach her. So he's back to his story. He says, then she leaves and I immediately turn around and say, hey, I want to ask. And then he says, for a split second, I froze. I honestly did. Instead of asking her out, I asked her for the schedule of the gym. He says, I've seen her before. She's athletic and probably an inch taller than me. And I've never seen her with anyone, and she's really beautiful. I don't want to put women on a pedestal, though, and I don't know what happened to me. It's simple. You have not practiced making small talk with enough people on a moment's notice, even when you're uncomfortable and you don't really feel like talking to anybody, when you force yourself to do it, like I talk about in the video, improving your social skills. When you do it enough, you talk to enough people in the grocery store line, or you're pumping gas, or you're standing in the line, or you're out somewhere in public and there's people around, or people at the dinner table or lunch table next to you, and you make small talk, you take a sincere, authentic interest in them, you ask them questions, the kind of questions that would elicit, hey, what do you guys love to do for fun? Where are you from? Those kinds of things. Then when you go up to a girl like this, it's like at some point when you've done that enough, you lose your fear of talking to women. And like these things are going to happen. I remember when I was young and I was experienced that this happened to me a few times. And then you walk away and you're like, you're really hard on yourself and you feel like an absolute piece of crap and like a bitch of a man because she was ready. You could tell by looking at her face that she was excited that you were talking to her, and then you just like in this guy does is he kind of just diverts and says, "Oh, what is the schedule about the gym?" And so he's kicking himself. But I mean, it's gonna happen. You got to give yourself permission to freeze up and have these things happen. So maybe that needs to happen 20 more times. Maybe you need to talk to 20 more women that are her caliber or better, or 10 or 5, or maybe the next time you see her, you'll feel better. The point is you're lacking confidence just because you haven't done this enough. You haven't practiced your small talk enough. And so that's something that everybody needs to do, because same thing when you're trying to get a job. If you're walking into somebody's office and you want to talk your way into the CEO's office so you can sit down and get him to offer you a job, you got to have the confidence and the balls to do that. And that means you need to practice enough, you need to do enough customer service and interacting with other human beings to get really good at it.
That guy aside, first and foremost, I'm rooting for you, dude. Second of all, the question had to do with dating unattractive people for
Oh, yeah.
practice. First,
So, well,
superficial
let
much,
me,
dude? Like, Why are you gonna like go out and break other people's hearts? Like it's like Corey said, if you really like someone, like you should go for someone you actually like, not just because they're unattractive. Just like don't date them just for kicks. They're human beings. They have 206 bones in their body. They have a heart that's beating. Like don't like if you don't like someone, find someone you like.
So point being is this guy's trying to talk to a hot girl he really likes, and he chickens out. So point being is, like I was saying earlier, is it's okay to talk to them, but I wouldn't want to go on a date because you're not going to want to talk to them. You don't really care what they have to say.
This person.
It might cause a girl to like you more, but the point being is that ideally you want to be going out on dates with girls that you really like and who like you because they're much easier to talk to. It's much easier to talk to a pretty girl who's easygoing, easy to get along with, very feminine, very nice to you, versus a chick that you don't want to talk to and you're not even that attracted to. So, but by forcing yourself just to practice making conversation with strangers, is that when you turn around or you bump into a girl like this on the way out in the gym, you started, hundreds of small talk conversations by that point. And so, yeah, you might be nervous, but you don't get overwhelmed in your nervous system to where you chicken out at the last minute. This is from a lack of practice. That's all it is. He's not talked to enough strangers enough in order to get to the point where talking to a girl and asking her out is like ordering a Happy Meal at McDonald's.
So what about in terms of the guy who sent in the question? How would you say that can relate? Because in the case of the guy who sent in the comment, it has to do with someone he's actually attracted to.
Well, he's got the same issue because he's settling. He's like, that girl, the hot girl scares the shit out of him. So he's like, well, I can talk to these ugly girls and go out on dates to practice. But you got to talk to the girls that scare you. You got to talk to everybody and practice your social skills. But you have to get to the point where, because the reality is most beautiful women, for most guys, they're not going to be interested. They're not going to want to go out with you. They're going to have a boyfriend, or they're going to get a weird vibe, or they're just not going to click, or talking to them is like pulling teeth. But when you meet a girl you really like, it's going to be easy and effortless to talk and converse with her. And so you got to circulate. That's the most important thing.
I just think it's like I'm given like a huge impression that this guy's a little superficial. So, I'm not trying to,
I don't see the superficial.
Parade,
he's just too scared to approach the girls he really wants. And so the reason why he's saying this is like, I don't really care if these girls like me or not, but I can practice on them. And the point is, you got to get to the point where the hot girl, you feel the same way around the hot girls, because you don't know. Just because she's hot doesn't mean she ain't crazy as fuck and hell and heat and high heels and make your life a living hell. So you still got to vet the girl. And just because she's pretty doesn't mean she's a good kisser, or she's good in bed, or she's fun to be around. She could be a total lunatic.
But it's like he said, it has to be someone he likes or is actually attracted to.
It's a lot easier to create attraction and grow attraction to somebody that you like and who likes you. So I wouldn't do it. Talk to them, but I wouldn't go out on dates.